Thank you. Good afternoon. Today I'll be presenting a paper titled Sustainable Development with a System for Paying Instant Money Transfer typed e-withdrawals directly to bank accounts. My name is Johnson Dehinbo, and my co-author is Mmoge Mananyetso. We are both from the Department of Computer Science, Tshwane University of Technology, Pretoria in South Africa. As a way of introduction, we are quite aware that development in simple terms can be understood to refer to a state of improvement, economic growth, increases in per capita income, or attainment of standard of living equivalent to that of the industrialized countries. So every society or every group of people that is able to attain some level of growth like that will want to continue to grow more into such further developmental state. And Brown 2017 therefore explained that sustainable development is defined as the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own need. So technology is an enabler of such development with various new products introduced into the society. So such new products and services introduced into society enabled by technology include things like online banking, which have a lot of developmental benefits. We can talk of social benefits. With online banking, you can pay a lot of people simultaneously at the click of a button. People can contribute together and have an association where everybody have a time where they're going to withdraw their own money. So it enhances a coherent social relationship, monetary relationship among group of people. And ecologically, we quite know that if I can do my banking services from my phone or from my computer, I don't need to drive to the bank, and therefore I'm going to save the amount of pollution that will have been poured into the society. I'm also going to save money in fuel that I will have used to drive to the bank. So it also saves economically. In some countries, like in South Africa, when you go to the bank and you pay through the teller, through the cashier, they are going to charge you more than if you are paying or depositing through the ATM or through online banking. So if I can do it online banking, therefore I'm also going to save money in that regard. So much progress has been made in computerization in different aspects of life, just as the online banking I have explained. And that overcomes a lot of limitations such as fatigue, consistency, reliability. I mean, the computer is not likely to make mistakes unless the user makes mistakes. So, and it's not going to be tired. There is no closing time, then like the cashier that closes by 3 o'clock or by 4 o'clock. So one of the functions that are being provided by online banking systems or banks today is instant money transfer services, which have come to reality in some sort of progression. By this, I'm talking about where you can just transfer money to somebody who may not even have a bank account. So the money goes straight to that person's uh, phone or email, and then that person can go and collect the money at the ATM. But before this happens, there are some progression that has took place before we get to that level. First, we were able to transfer to bank account, and then secondly, it became a problem that if we are giving people our own bank account, a lot of food can be perpetrated because of that. For example, we can talk of money laundering. Somebody can just deposit money into your bank account and then threaten you to transfer that money back to them. So if such a situation happens, it becomes difficult for you to now explain to the police that you are not part of that syndicate. So then came the progression of using email address because of such risk. So instead of exposing our bank account, rather people will now give email address or mobile phone number as a point of transferring the money. So the receiver will then receive the money in the form of an email or a short message system, entailing also the PIN that can be used to withdraw the money via ATM. However, ATM tends to be out of service. Sometimes you get to the ATM and then it's out of service. Or sometimes you beat a lot of queues there. So you have to wait. You have to wait until it is your turn. You can spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So these are one of the some of the problems experienced in that kind of a situation. Also, there could be problem of robberies. So when you are withdrawing from the ATM, some people can just wait there. As soon as you withdraw your money, they ask you to hand it over. Or maybe as soon as you leave and you are walking along the road, then they ask you to hand over the money. Or they can even collect your bank card. So it becomes a risk. So in that kind of a situation, one should be able to change their mind and say, okay, instead of going to the ATM and risk robbery and queues and ATM not working, then let me redirect this money that that person has transferred to me. Let me redirect it to my account instead of going to the ATM to withdraw it. So this research therefore addresses the question of how do we receive such money via email address or cell phone in the form of instant money by way of avoiding releasing our bank details, and then we still have the money in any of our bank accounts without having to go to use the ATM, and that thereby in helping to replace the drive towards a cashless society. And this will obviously enable sustainable development by avoiding unnecessary trips to the ATM while also giving freedom of choice on how to receive the money. So this will enhance sustainable development and sustainable use of the banking system in the society, because if I see that the banking system is working as I want, then I will continue to use it. But if it's not, people are going to be discouraged and people will want to go back to the old ways of going to the cashier and then risking driving, wasting fuel, polluting the environment. So on this progression, we look at some few banks in South Africa that's moved towards this progression. Capitec Bank is one of the banks that enables people to pay via phone numbers, but the only condition here is that that option is only available to people paying recipients in the same capital bank. So if the recipient is using a different bank, like say Standard Bank, then this system will not work. So Capitec only enable Capitec to Capitec accounts payments via phone numbers. In USA, they have a system that is called Zelle. So many banks are part of this Zelle program, where you can enroll your phone number or your email address. As here on this page, I decided to enroll my email address dehinbo@yahoo.com, so that I can receive money from people by just giving them my email address rather than giving them my banking account number. So that money goes straight to my bank account that is linked to it. Then in South Africa, there's also the system that is called Sharp ID. Now, the limitation of the Zelle in USA is that it's only one account that is enrolled to that email address. So what if I have 2 or 3 accounts? Even if I have 10 accounts, I can't create 10 email addresses. So the Sharp ID system in South Africa seems to address that kind of a problem. So that gives you the opportunity to choose the code that you want to use. Rather than using email, you can use a code. So if I have different bank accounts, I can say, for example, I can use my phone number 0822259483 at Netbank. I can use another one 0822259483 at Absa Bank. So I can have different codes like that. So if I'm giving somebody my phone and my code, Sharp ID to pay, then it will go straight to that particular bank depending on the code that I have given. However, this Sharp ID is also not without its own limitations. And one of the limitations is that not all banks are currently participating in the system. Also, the Sharp ID system is not continuously verified. it is possible that you stop using that account and somebody still have that sharp ID and we use it thinking that you are still using that account number. So that is one of the limitations. So our system is meant to actually address all these type of problems altogether. So the methodology we are going to adopt is a prototyping methodology, which will also involve developing a prototype of how we can get to develop that kind of a system that will give us the freedom to either deposit into the ATM, we withdraw via ATM, or if we change our mind to now transfer it to uh, our bank account. As we said earlier on, that freedom is one of the hallmark of sustainable development according to SEN 1999. So the system is developed now to start with the registration page on the e-withdrawal system. We register the username, we register the phone number, the email address that is going to be used. Then we allow the users to choose the bank that they want to transfer to. So they can choose Standard Bank, FMB, or APSA. And then they give the virtual number, the virtual ID that they want to be used when they send that payment, as well as the PIN code. And then they click on e-draw. And then the recipient can go to the same bank and with the OTP, they can put the OTP and then that money goes straight to the bank account they have recorded on the system. So then we have a record of the transaction that has taken place. And at the end of the day, at the end of the month, we can have a summary of all the transactions done by the specific client, all the withdrawals and that have sent, that the client sent out, and then we can have a total and be able to see that everything is in order. So in conclusion, the study therefore addresses the question of how to receive instant money via email address or cell phone number, avoiding releasing our bank details, and still have the freedom to choose when to go and use the ATM. And if the ATM is busy or if we think that it is risky, where we can redirect it to our bank account. So the hallmark of it is to be able to change your mind between those two systems, whether to put it into your bank account or directly into your or via the ATM, according to SEN 1999 that said development should be seen as the freedom of people to live the life that they have a reason to value. So in above, therefore, it also enabled the social sustainable because now we can send money to different people, and then also enables ecological savings, pollution in driving to the bank, and then it's economic because we are not driving to the bank, and then we can do all the transactions directly from our mobile phone or email. So this is aimed at enhancing the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs and to have a sustainable society. Thank you very much.